Hey guys, it's Brady here.
And I'm I'm terrible.
And I'm terrible.
I'm terrible.
We'll do it again.
You said this is Brady, and I wanted to say I'm Christy, and then I said this is Chris.
This is Christy.
This is Christy. This is Christy.
We're never getting this video done. This video's never getting done.
Okay, we're gonna have a lot of bloopers.
We're gonna have a lot of bloopers. It's gonna be awesome.
Okay, go.
Hey guys, it's Brady here
And Christy.
with the Freedom Living Project, and today we're gonna be doing a decade in review. This is literally New Year's Eve today, and we see a lot of people doing decade in review, and we've had a pretty interesting decade. So we figured we'd share that with you guys, and this will actually be our first video on YouTube, too, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So we're going to start with, where are we starting with this? 2010 to 2012?
2010. We didn't even know each other in 2010.
No, we didn't know each other.
We did go to the same school, but we didn't know each other.
We knew of each other, but we never actually met each other at that point.
2010, 2011, I graduated.
Yeah, I was in chiropractic school, 2011, 2012, 2013. So we're just going to skip through 2010 through 2013.
2012, not a lot happened.
Not a lot happened. We were in school. We didn't know each other. We're going to skip to when we actually met, which was 2013.
Right before you graduated.
Right before I graduated. I was actually going to go to Peru. I was going to go down and work in Peru. And then I met her like a month before I was supposed to go. And I decided, obviously not. That's obviously not going to happen. And then, fast forward to 2014, we got engaged. That was awesome.
And I finished grad school.
Oh, that's right. You did.
Just realized that.
Yeah, you finished grad school. That was 2014?
Or 15. Sometime in there. It's a little blurry.
Yeah.
But we got married in 2015.
Yep. And what's cool is Christy's always done every single year. I think we did this after a church service one day. They had this idea where every year you create a theme for the year and you pick a word for each year. And so Christy's done that every single year since then, which has been pretty cool because it sets the tone for the year. And pretty much every time that's happened, and she's put that through for the year, it's kind of come to pass, which is pretty cool. So it's something I highly recommend you guys checking out as well. But for 2015, what was your word?
Well, I kind of backtracked, so I did it after the year. But that year was just kind of all about love and fun. We had just gotten married. Well, I don't think we did that till 2017-ish. Anyway, it was just a fun year. We got married, and we were just in that honeymoon phase. Loving life, no idea what we were getting into.
Yeah, and then at the end of 2015, that's when we went into business together, right?
We did. I quit my job.
Yeah.
In October 2015, just 6 months after we got married, which is crazy. And then started working with him. So in 2016, that was going super well. Until it wasn't.
We had a good couple months, and then, so backtrack just a little bit. I was already in practice. I had already started the business, and it was kind of a slow get off. And by the time we got married, it was just starting to really pick up. And then 6 months after we got married, it was time to take kind of the next step in our business. So we made the decision together that it was time for us to work together. Looking back now, the logistics of making that transition was insane. Like, we were crazy for doing it, but it's worked out pretty well until it didn't.
Till it didn't. So we had to sacrifice a little bit. That was the word for 2016, was sacrifice. We moved in with Brady's parents for a time just so we could get on our feet, save some money, put the money we were making back into the business, pay off debt, all those kinds of things. And then late 2016, we moved back out on our own. And then in 2017, the word was just, I think it was something like work or grind or toil or something. Just terrible.
All the working verbs.
All the working verbs. We had a lot of big goals, but we were in kind of a hole of debt, and we also knew what not managing your money well could get you into, where you're out of money and you can't afford rent and you have to move in with your parents. And so we just wanted to make sure that didn't happen again. And so we just put our heads down and worked in 2017, paid off a lot of debt still. And that's all I remember from 2017.
Yeah, it was just a year, we just knew we'd kind of gotten past that rough 2016 where we had kind of like taken a dip in our business. We were trying to figure things out, figure out our systems, figure out how to grow a business, how to run a business profitably. And then 2017, we just started to pick up more in the business. So we knew it was going to be a year of like, we're just going to put our heads down, we're going to work. And we knew, because we took out a business loan for that business, we knew we didn't want to take 7 to 8 years to pay that off. We wanted to pay it off fast. So we're like, we're just going to focus on this year, just knocking that out. Which then in 2018, we did. We paid that off. How long did we have the loan for? Like,
we had the loan for like 18 or 19 months, I think.
yeah, so instead of 7 to 8 years, we had it for 18 months, which is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
So we had focused so much on our business and growing that, that in 2018 we really decided to focus on, we were still working a lot, but wanted to plant some roots, make some friends. We didn't have a social life for a long time. But we just wanted to plant roots. So that was the word at the beginning of the year. And little did we know we would come across a little townhome that we ended up buying. And so that was really planting roots.
We're in Southern California, by the way. That's tough to do. That's tough to do in Southern California.
We didn't think that was going to happen till we were like 55. So
yeah. So we got super lucky like that. But again, we put in the work to be able to do that and just had a huge blessing come our way. So we were super thankful for that. And it was really about, you have it right here, the word was kind of planting roots, just building roots for that year, which, we had moved pretty much every single year from the time we got married. Every single year we were in a new apartment, a new place, new spot. We never really felt like we were planted anywhere. And so that was really a year to like plant our roots, which was great. And then once we got settled, then 2019 has been like the best year yet to date. I mean, we have our home. We're a couple miles from the beach. We're in like a beach town. Like we have this boardwalk right next to us that we can like go down to the beach whenever we want. Both got new cars. I mean, it was time. Yeah, it was time. And it just had an amazing year in our business. Like we just looked back at our numbers today and it's like, holy smokes, we never thought we'd be in this position. I mean, 3 years ago, we never thought we'd be in this kind of position ever. So to be where we're at here, it's pretty incredible. Yeah.
So the word for 2019 was growth. So we sure did grow a lot, I think.
Yeah. Not only in our business, not only like in our personal life, in our relationships, but even just like spiritually too. It's just been an amazing year of just tremendous growth personally between both of us in our relationship, and then spiritually too. We feel like we've just so many things God's done in our life this year that we just feel like we've grown a tremendous amount.
Yeah, I feel like we finally had time to invest in ourselves and invest in each other. Or I guess we always had the time, we just actually carved it out for that. Because prior to that, I think we were just so focused on our business and not letting that die that we just like put all our energy into that. And this year we finally prioritized. I think we're starting to get like where when you prioritize your spouse and your relationship with God, you prioritize making friends and those kinds of things. It actually doesn't take away from your businesses, it adds to it. And you can add value and you get new ideas and things like that. But with today being the last day of 2019, the last day of this decade and going into the new year, it's not only a new year for a new word, but it's a new decade. And so for me, I was just thinking this morning, it's so fun to look back at where we've come from in the last 10 years and even just the last year and how many goals we've accomplished and goals that we had written down at the end of last year that have come to pass, or we've even surpassed those goals. And it's so cool and it makes you feel so accomplished. But at the same time, I'm the finance one, so I have all my spreadsheets and all my accounting systems. And so all of that ends up going back to zero and zeroing out everything, and it's a blank slate, and it's exciting, but it's a little bit scary. Like I always have this moment of like, oh gosh, it's like we climbed this big mountain and we got to the top, and now we're just all of a sudden back at the bottom again with an even bigger mountain. So to me, that's a little bit, it's scary, but at the same time we were talking, well, you can view it as it's a fresh slate where you just have unlimited potential and there's even more room for growth. And know that growth isn't guaranteed. You have to put in the work, but we know what we're capable of, and we know that we can accomplish so much more this year. And so it's good to have those goals, and it's good to increase your goals and get out of your comfort zone. And we realize we're at a point where like we could stay in this comfort zone and in this routine, and things could just coast how they are, but we know that we want so much more. And so we have been talking about just how we can improve our own routines and improve everything that we're doing so that we can achieve those goals. So
oftentimes when you look at what's needed to reach your goal, you immediately realize if we want to get past what we did this year, things have to change. You have to expand, not just yourself, but you have to expand different aspects of your business, your personal life, your time, how you manage your time. That was a big one for me that I felt like I really had to focus on more this year. You know, we've accomplished so much, just the two of us, but now we're going to be bringing on more staff this year. There's going to be more that we're going to be building into our team. We're starting new projects like the Freedom Living Project to help other people like you do some of what we've been able to do and accomplish in our life. And a lot of that comes with, if we want to accomplish these goals and these huge ideas and visions that we have for ourselves that we think God's given us, it's going to take a lot more than just trying new tactics and doing new things. It's really going to be, you have to reorient. She's the wordsmith. Reorient basically your entire life around that and making sure you can accomplish those goals, and that's going to expand every part of your life in that way. And that's one of the cool things that we were kind of looking at this year. Is it's kind of scary to think about all the changes that are going to happen, but at the same time those are necessary to get you to where you want to go.
I was reading this morning, it was very timely because I was reading this morning about actually in Mike Rovner's book about his business, and what he talked about was your dream. Little plug for
Great
that.
Book. Highly recommend it. If you're a Christian entrepreneur, highly recommend getting this book.
But he was just talking about how a lot of times what your goals are, what your dreams are on the other side of your fears or on the other side of your comfort zone. And so if you really want like the life that you dream of, you're going to have to get uncomfortable and you're going to have to face some of those fears. But courage comes when you're afraid, but you do it anyway. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to hire somebody, and I don't really know how to run payroll, and I don't know any of that stuff. But it's stuff that we can figure out, and it's stuff that for me, if I want, the life that we dream of, if I want to be able to stay home in the future with our kids, or if I want to take a vacation or take some days off, like I need to have someone who can do what I do. And so even though that's scary and it's going to be different, it's something that I think if we push past that and we just figure it out and take it one day at a time, then that's what's going to lead to being able to live the lifestyle that we want to live. And that doesn't just mean like a certain amount of money. That means just freedom. And that's the whole like purpose of this, is like we want to have lifestyle freedom where we can take a vacation and our business can continue to run. It's not dependent on just us being there. And the whole point is, even though I'm like afraid of these things, or there is a little bit of uncertainty, I think just facing that and having the courage to say like we can figure it out, it's gonna get you then to where you want to be ultimately.
Yeah I think that's all we got for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is where people get hyped up in the video and we go, oh yeah, thanks for tuning in. You should subscribe. Hit that button down below. Like this if you really enjoy it. It's awesome. You're gonna love it. Boom, boom. We'll see you guys on the next video.
Is this loud enough?
What? It's like that Christmas Vacation. What is that? What?
Okay.
We don't necessarily start like start by introducing yourself to people. This is going on Blooper Reels.